This week on Hooligan Nation, we pit Paul versus Ace versus Gene versus Peter in choosing the best 5 songs sung by each member of the original KISS. And as a bonus, we discuss the culinary delicacy of pigs in a blanket. Huh? So stay tuned, because you got
nothing to lose.
You got
Nothing to lose, got nothing.
You wanted the best, well, they retired. So you got 2 dudes in a garage.
Talking KISS.
Welcome back to Hooligan Nation, the KISS-Centric podcast, the podcast where the riffs are loud, but our opinions are louder. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco. Hey.
Whoa, happy Rocco.
Happy Rocco. What up, hooligans?
What's up? This week, we list our top 5 songs sung by each of the original members of KISS. And let's just say we had a tough time.
Yeah.
But before that, we have news, music we're listening to, and of course, our weekly poll. But first, recap of last episode. Evolution versus imitation. KISS and the art of musical risk. Father Rocco.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have anything you'd like to add?
Honestly, it's that subject in general is one of my favorite subjects of music, period. I love the story and the evolution of a band and see how they start, see where they finish. I really enjoyed doing that episode for that reason, because you see certain bands, they stick to their formula and they just keep driving it home. And then other bands get creative, sometimes a little too creative, like KISS at times. But
and I think that's kind of one of the parts of doing this podcast that is the funnest part is we both did that podcast and we both enjoyed it for completely different reasons. Like I read over and over again, listen to, watch, blah, blah, blah about KISS imitating this and KISS imitating that, and to go through it and break down what's imitation as compared to what's evolution was pretty interesting to me. And also what I find really funny always is that KISS gets beat up, and absolutely rightfully so sometimes, but they get beat up. The evolution that doesn't work out well is always called imitation. The evolution that turns out well seems to never be called imitation. Like I feel like I've been on this the last few weeks, but nobody calls I Was Made for Loving You any kind of imitation because it was good. It was evolution. Oh, well, it was the disco era, so they made my favorite one is, well, the studio version is a disco song, but the live version isn't, which is true. But I think that's how some fans try to make it make sense in their head. Like, all of it is evolution from a certain perspective, and most of it is imitation in some form or fashion.
like I said, I appreciate the courage that it took to do some of the things that they did, whether it worked or not. You know, I mean, not every band will do that. Hey, listen, let's just stick with what works. You know, we Destroyer, we had good hits with that. Let's just keep doing it.
News. You got news?
I do. Some of the news that I have, it's all about the same band. Some of the news I have are rumors. Some of it's substantially current stuff that's going to be happening. I got this information off of Loudwire, an article by Lauren Schaefer, and it was dated August 6, 2025. Metallica, the first bit of news. There is a launch of a new channel from Metallica on Sirius XM. It's called Maximum Metallica. It's going to be on channel 42, and it airs and launches on August 29th. And then the last bit of news, it's totally a rumor. And you probably have already heard about it. But supposedly there is a rumor that Metallica will be doing a residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas at some point.
So I heard that rumor earlier this week or late last week, and I immediately jumped on Metallica's website and found no news of it. So I determined that that's a unsubstantiated rumor at this time. I did find it funny. Everybody knows or should know by this point that I listen to Eddie Trunk almost every day. Eddie Trunk addressed it at the beginning of this week, and I did, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but Eddie Trunk addressed this rumor, and he said, first and foremost, that Metallica could pull it off, because that's a big problem with the Sphere, is it costs so many millions of dollars to create the graphics package that you need to be able to do a lot of shows in there. You know, let's say at least a run of 10 shows, filling the place with 18,000 people. And he said that, you know, he thinks that they could pull it off. I definitely think that they could pull it off. And then he said, which was the thing that I found funny, was that he's not saying that it's not true, but it hasn't been announced yet. Now, that could be Eddie Trunk conjecture, and it could also be Eddie Trunk knowing something and not being able to say it before the band actually announces it. But, you know, we'll see.
The thing I've always said about Metallica, and it's very odd because if you had asked me back at the time when I was into them back when I was a kid, I never would have thought this would be possible, but Metallica's mainstream. Like, they're a metal band, but they're also mainstream. Everybody knows Metallica. There's songs that appeal to everybody. Nothing else matters. I think it was a game changer for them. So the numbers that they would need to fill at the Sphere to make that happen, I don't see it being a problem at all.
I don't think it's a problem at all. And I think it would work out for Metallica's advantage because it's a lot less travel. I think, look, my crazy opinion is this is the future. In the future, as bands get older, you're going to travel to them. They're not going to travel to you. We're seeing it with, you know, people like Sammy Hagar, who comes out and says, yeah, I don't want to travel and tour anymore, but I'll do residencies because, you know, this has been said on more than one occasion. You do your show and then you hop in an elevator and you're up in your room 5 minutes afterwards, and you travel to Vegas once to get there and once to leave.
Right.
Everybody else has got to travel to you. You just have to be a big enough name to do that. And in the case of like Sammy Hagar, I don't know that Sammy Hagar, well, no, I'm going to say it. Sammy Hagar probably could not successfully do the Sphere, but Metallica can. Sammy can do somewhere a little smaller,
Right.
maybe under 10,000. And it's the same thing as, you know, fantasy.
Boss, deplane. We're going back to Fantasy Island for a minute.
If KISS wanted to do a residency, look, I'd sign up for a residency in the Sphere. I just don't think that will ever happen.
No, and listen, KISS is my favorite band, but I don't think that they'd be able to fill it as much as Metallica could. Metallica's more of an accepted band than most of the bands out there. It is what it is. It's true.
And this is
A complete Fantasy Island.
If they reunited one last time and put out a new album and then did a residency in the Sphere, they'd be okay. I think they'd be okay. Now, can they successfully reunite? Probably not. Could they successfully not kill each other to do an album? Probably not.
And the music business doesn't promote that stuff anyway. It's not even it wouldn't be worth it to them at this point either. Music is different now.
I think it would be worth it just to do the residency at the Sphere. And look, again, I could be crazy. I probably am. But I think KISS could do a residency like Billy Joel did at the Garden once a month for who knows how long. I mean, the way I understand it at the Sphere is once you pay to create the graphics package, it's yours. It's a matter of loading it into a computer. So you can load it 10 days in a row, or you can load it once a month for 10, 12 months. I mean, like, do I think that that's possible? Probably not.
But it's my island, so if I want to have my fantasy, I can.
Funny enough, my news starts off with Metallica. It's almost like we planned it. You know what I think we are? I think we're two pigs in the same blanket.
Wow.
I love it. Metallica's Black Album has spent 800 weeks on the Billboard 200 and is currently at number 164. It's the fourth album in history to reach this milestone. The fourth album in the history of the Billboard 200.
Amazing.
800 weeks. And it's still 164. It's not like it's 199.
No, it's I mean, I've said this to you before. I mean, I was a huge Metallica fan at their infancy. To think about what they became from when I used to listen to them with my Walkman and my mullet, it's amazing.
You had a mullet?
I had a big mullet.
You had a rockin' mullet, boy.
I was rocking and rolling with that mullet. But you know what? Knock it if you will. At least I had my hair then.
Well, you and me both.
Yeah.
The other piece of news that I have, actually, I have two other pieces of news. Ozzy's cause of death was confirmed as of yesterday. It was confirmed to be cardiac arrest and coronary artery disease.
Wow.
That not much of a shock there at all. So I guess it's good news. I mean,
listen, I mean, there's been so much information about Ozzy since he's passed and the event that was out there. As far as I'm concerned, I'll never get tired of hearing about Ozzy. And may he rest in peace.
The last bit of news that I have is Vince Neil returned to the stage on August 3rd. And he looked pretty good. And he sounded like Vince sounds.
What was the deal with him? Do you know?
No, they
said surgery. They said some kind of surgery or something, right?
It's all rumor. And he hasn't come out and said anything. The concert was at Bethel Woods, I think it was, in New York, and I guess he was speaking to the crowd, and he said something like the doctors told him that he could no longer tour, maybe. And his response was like, well, to hell with that. So he didn't really clear anything up. And I got to be honest, and I hate to do this, but boy, he sounded terrible. But that's the way he sounds. I mean, he's like David Lee Roth, man. He can't sing. He can't sing.
Well, at their peak, though, I mean, I loved his voice. At the peak, Motley Crue had their own sound, and it was great. It's a shame.
I'm talking about live. I'm not talking about recorded. I'm talking about live because
Well, I did. You seen them? Do you seen them in their peak? I never saw them in their peak. I wanted to.
yeah, I saw them a couple times.
He wasn't good live back in the day.
Not, look, I mean, the first time I saw them was Girls, Girls, Girls. And the way I remember it, he sounded great. Now, could I be wrong? I guess I could. I saw them with their co-headlining tour with KISS, and as I remember it, he sounded good. When I saw him on the stadium tour, geez, uh, it was a little rough. Is a little rough, and the video that I watched, it's a YouTube video, but the YouTube video that I watched from August 3rd, it's a little rough. But if you like Motley Crue and you like Vince Neil, you gotta take the bad with the good, and it is what it is. Music we're listening to.
Yeah, the last couple days I mean, that I think I've said on the podcast before, one of my favorite vocalists is Jeff Tate from Queensryche, and I've been listening to a lot of his catalog lately. And the current album I'm listening to is called Kings and Thieves from Jeff Tate. I'm going to be seeing him in October, hopefully with you. And 3 songs I mark from that album: In the Dirt, The Way I Roll, and Dark Money. I recommend. They're really good songs. These are some of the albums of his that I haven't listened to a lot. I get stuck a lot in the old catalog of Queensryche, but I've always loved his voice, and that's what I'm listening to.
I am going to be a complete buzzkill with mine, and I apologize now, but honesty and transparency is kind of important to us. I'm still listening to the new Alice Cooper Band album every chance I get.
All right. If it's what you like, it's what you're listening to.
I mean, I try to move on to something different. I just can't move on. It's so different. It's so new but old. It's a hell of an audio ride to take. Like have you listened to it yet?
I haven't listened. No.
Oh
I have
my
yet
God.
to listen to it. Because I get stuck on things too. I'm still listening to Creatures. Like I music's that way. Sometimes something will grab a hold of you and it holds on to you for a while, and you don't have time to venture out. When I listen to something new like the Alice Cooper, I mean, you mentioned, all you had to do is mention Pink Floyd. I want to really pay attention and listen to it when I listen to it. I don't want to just kind of breeze through it. I want to really listen to it. So I'm waiting for that. It's on I have a list of stuff to listen to, that I'm trying to get to, but
don't fall behind with the Alice Cooper Band. Because,
and don't forget 72 Seasons too. I've been trying to get through too, and it's really good.
Oh my God.
But it's a good thing though. I love music.
You know what time it is?
It's gotta be you dancing on a pole time.
Just for anyone that doesn't pay attention to us, our weekly polls can be found on our community tab and on our Facebook group. So if you want to be able to vote, check out our community tabs on YouTube or join our Facebook group. Please. Thank you. The question for this week, I can't believe this is the first time that we ever asked this question, but it just popped in my head a couple weeks ago. How do you feel about Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer wearing Peter Criss and Ace Frehley's makeup? Father Rocco, what say you?
It doesn't bother me. If I'm being honest, it doesn't really bother me. The thing the evolution of the characters, I mean, there's a part of me that does believe that they should have did character. I go back and forth with it. Characters, new members, new characters and stuff like that. But it doesn't bother me because, again, one of the things that you bring up all the time, for as much as you kind of throw shade on some of that stuff, it gave us another 20 years of KISS.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't really bother me too much.
It's a perspective thing. For me, it's a perspective thing. I don't like the I don't like the imitation part of it. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. I understand it, but I don't like it. And Victor beats me up about this quite regularly, and I still don't think he really understands. I don't have a problem with Tommy or Eric. They took a job that we would all take. I have a problem with the fact that it's happening. With that being said, I do feel like we got 2 more studio albums and we got 20 more years of KISS. I feel like I'm in the minority because I read the comments from hooligans almost every week saying they should have retired in the early 2000s. I don't really see it that way. I appreciate the fact that we got a 20 extra years of KISS, and for probably 15 of them, I checked out.
Yeah, same here.
For the most part, I checked out. And I wasn't going to live shows every year. I checked out, I've said this before. I put Monster on and skipped through it. I put Sonic Boom on, skipped through it.
Right. I mean, did they put down the quality of the best quality that KISS ever did in their catalog? No, but nobody could deny Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer are very good musicians too.
Would you like to know what the Hooligans thought?
Absolutely. I always want to know what the Hooligans have to say.
So I don't know whether to say I'm shocked at this or not shocked at this. I expected the balance to be a lot more off balance. All right. 23% of the Hooligans said they were okay with it. And 77% said there's only one Space Ace and Catman.
I respect that. I do respect that.
I thought it would be more like 90-10, and it wasn't. And that was kind of shocking to me a little bit.
Well, you know what, though? Here's the other aspect of it. You need 4 members to be pulling in the same direction. We've said it many times. Part of the reason, right, that Ace and Peter aren't in the band and didn't stay in the band and didn't stay Space Ace and the Catman is because, number one, they sold their character, right? And then, and number 2, they had a little something to do with not being in the band anymore.
And don't forget about number 3, because number 3 is the killer of all killers to me. Number 3 is both Ace and Peter separately were in the band with Eric and Tommy. Man,
that's very interesting. It really.
I come from a world of evidence, and that's evidence of bullshit right there.
Right.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that evidentially speaking, was that another grape?
Yeah, they're really good.
Hooligans.
Listen, the Hooligans are my friends. They're over there. They may be watching this munching. They're probably eating Doritos.
Let me ask you something. Do you ever watch any talk shows?
Nope.
Any late night?
I'm trying to make it harder for you. Yes, of course I watch shows.
Did you ever see David Letterman pull out a sandwich in the middle of his show?
He smoked a cigar.
He smoked a cigar?
On film, on during a show.
Well, feel free to smoke a cigar.
I don't smoke cigars. I'd rather eat grapes.
If you choke on a grape and I'm filming,
you know what?
It's going to go viral.
Okay, but we just talked about characters, right? Do you want me to just play Father Rocco the character, or do you want me to be real? I think the Hooligans want me to be myself.
Oh, well, can't argue with that. Guess what we got, Father Rocco?
What we got?
Yeah.
We
got our very first sponsor.
Really?
Yes, we do.
Oh, you're surprising me on air.
Yes, I am.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. And I'm wearing their t-shirt, and I'm about to explain this to everyone because not only are they a sponsor, but they are a great, great organization. So I'd like to explain this to both you and the hooligans out there. Our very first sponsor is Battleborn. Battleborn is a collaborative effort among like-minded individuals and organizations intent on repairing and restoring people who have served our country. They do this by delivering a unique level of support and guidance to those servicemen and women who have emotional and psychological wounds. They provide support directly and indirectly in collaboration with others in their community who value those who have served this nation and its communities. For more information, please, please, please go to wearebattleborn.com. That is WEAREBATTLEBORNE.com, battleborn.com for more information. 100% of their donations go towards the people that they're serving. And that's a pretty important thing to me and should be to everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In other words, every dollar that you donate goes towards helping the people that served our country. So we are very proud to be sponsored by Battleborn. If you are a hooligan, please support them in any way you can. I am wearing the Battleborn t-shirt. And they do sell a lot of merch. It is on the website, and they are active and out and about everywhere.
Just to make a caveat onto what you just said, I'm extremely patriotic. I love this country. And if you're a hooligan and you had served our country, thank you for helping provide our freedom. I'm always going to be supportive of our military. So thank you.
And the other thing is, if you served our country and you're dealing with anything that you need help with, battleborn.com, get in touch with them or get in touch with us, and I will get you in touch with them if you need help. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Hooligans, this was one of the toughest things that we've ever tried to do here. We are going to discuss the top 5 songs, our opinion, sung by each original member of KISS. So we are pitting Paul versus Gene versus Ace versus Peter. And this is bound to be explosive. I tried to stay away from co-lead vocals. Solo albums do count, and it doesn't matter who wrote the song. It's lead vocals on the studio version of the song. With that being said, Father Rocco, since I do everything else, you get to go first.
All right. So I don't have Paul's in any real specific order. That was hard for me to do. So I could literally take any one of these songs and put it at number 1. And then I also have, if you're okay with this, I have 3 other songs in like just off to the side that didn't make the cut, but we're really trying to get to the top 5.
So you want to make it a top 8?
No, these are like bonus tracks. They didn't make the cut, but they're on the cutting room floor.
Oh, they're going to end up on the cutting room floor when I edit this, because we said top 5 and we spoke about this today, that this was hard as hell to do. So I had to come up with a top 5. I had to order it from 5 to 1. You didn't have to come up with a top 5. You went up with a top 8, and you didn't order it.
No, I came up with the
5 to 1.
top. I came up with the top 5. I had 3 extra on Paul. If you'd like to know what would have been 6, 7, and 8. If you don't, then I'm not going to tell you. That's it. Not going to tell you.
All right, don't tell me. I'll be able to guess it probably anyway.
Nope.
Go ahead. What's number 5?
Number 5, I have Tears Are Falling.
Okay.
Number 4, I have Tonight You Belong to Me.
Oh, you went solo album.
Number 3, I got A Million to One.
I'm shocked.
Number 2, I got I'm a Legend Tonight.
Oh my God. Okay. And what's number 1? It's gotta be.
You know what number 1 is. You say it.
It's gotta be Detroit Rock City.
Nope. You know what song it is. Wait, come on. Come on. Come on. And Love Me.
Dude, you did a Paul Stanley top 5 and you didn't put Detroit Rock City in there?
I can't put the most popular song they ever did. That's too easy.
All right, what's 6, 7, and 8?
That's on my cut. No, I'm not telling you. You wanted to know now. You're not going to find out.
Okay. All right. Well,
all right, Mike. I'll tell you. Listen. I'm having fun. We're having a little fun here. 6 was Forever. 7 was Rain, and 8 was Detroit Rock City.
I am completely blown away.
I mean, I could have put
with
Detroit
your
Rock
list.
City 1. I could have put I Stole Your Love 2. I could have, you know what I mean? I'm not going to put the most popular songs in there. I'm putting stuff that means something to me, separate from like the most popular one.
No. It's cool. Like I didn't go.
You know what I mean? No.
You know, I did go, but I did one spot on one member. I did go with popularity.
You know, we could have even done it like obscure favorite songs with that, because that's kind of the way I looked. I didn't want it to be the cookie cutter songs that we always listen to. Everybody knows Detroit Rock City, and you know what I mean?
I went pretty obscure for I think I said this to you earlier. I went pretty obscure for 4 and 5.
Yeah, I think hooligans would want that instead of just hearing us say, "Oh yeah, Paul, I like Paul Detroit Rock City." That's on my, of course, that's on everybody's list. But you know what I mean? So that's my list. I want to. What do you got?
But my list for Paul at number 5 from his 1978 solo album, Ain't Quite Right.
Good tune.
I love it. I
don't
know why it reminds me of an Eagles song. Every time I listen to that song, I'm like, man, that's an Eagles song that Paul listened to and made it. And next time you listen to Paul Stanley's solo album, I wish we could do actual music on this without getting copyright killed, because like as soon as that goes on, I'm like, oh, that's the Eagles. Oh wait, that's Paul Stanley. I'm not saying that he stole it from them, but it was definitely inspired by the Eagles, I think. Number 4, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire off of Animalize.
Not surprised from you.
Not a surprise from me at all. I think it's probably the most hard rocking heavy metal song that Paul Stanley ever sung lead vocals on.
It'd be hard to argue. It's a really good song.
Number 3, gotta go with Love Gun. I do.
There's no way that wouldn't end up on your list.
Right. Number 2, Detroit Rock City. Same thing.
Yeah, I can't knock you for it, but like I said, I didn't want to go that route.
I didn't go the popularity route. I went with my 5 favorite songs that Paul sings.
Then I may know your number 1 then.
Oh, what do you think my number 1 is?
I Stole Your Love.
Oh my God, that's my number 1.
Yes.
Shocker.
All right.
Shocker. Yeah, they are my 5 favorite Paul Stanley sung songs. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep. Now, if I had bonus tracks, oh my God, I was going to write them in, and then I was like, yeah, I'll be here all day and I'll end up it'll be like when we did the Guitar Gods. We did the Guitar Gods. Hey, we're going to do honorable mentions. Yeah. We spent an hour just doing honorable mentions.
And still left some guys out there were like, how did we not put them on the list?
We did actually.
Yes.
We did constantly. I'm going back to that episode because I see a guitar player and I'm like, did either of us name him? Oh my God. Like we have to, I guess we're going to have to do like a updated version of that if we last a couple more years doing this.
The one thing I learned from looking back at that episode, the Guitar Heroes episode, and if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's a good one. I can do Peter.
All right.
All right. So,
Gigi might get upset with you.
okay. My number 5 is Tears, 1982 album, Let Me Rock You. It's number 5 is Tears. My number,
Wow.
yeah, I like that song. I mean, at some point, I'm sure we're probably going to do those full albums too. I didn't
Oh, I
realize
can't
to a
wait.
lot. I was just trying to find another song. I didn't want to go with the kind of sugar that Papa likes, so I had to go with something.
Well, I appreciate that you didn't go with the kind of sugar that Papa likes.
All right. So my number 4 is You Matter to Me. Dirty Living is my third. My second is Hooligan. And one of my favorite Kiss songs of all time, Black Diamond.
You're throwing me little curveballs here. I have
Really?
to admit. Yeah. Like I thought one of the reasons why we did top 5 was because Peter only sang lead on 9 Kiss songs. And then, like, we all know that, well, most of us know that technically he's got 4 solo albums. But I'm pretty sure that, like, 2 people listened to the last one. For the most part, well, he's got 4 solo albums plus the Criss album. I don't know. That's why we went with top 5. But you're going out there in left field a little bit for me, like Tears. And what was your number 4 song?
You Matter to Me.
And yeah, I went with Getaway at number 5 off of Dress to Kill. I can't believe you didn't put this in there. I went with Beth, number 4 off of Destroyer.
I should have got Getaway. I was definitely not going to put Beth.
I like I said for Paul, I put my 5 favorite songs.
Getaway's an omission for me. I was trying to get more creative with them. But
You think Getaway was an omission? Wait till I say number 3. Hard Luck Woman is number 3 off of Rock and Roll Over.
wow.
Yeah. Hooligan at number 2 off of Love Gun. And hey, we're in agreement, which means that we're 2 pigs in the same blanket again. Number 1 is Black Diamond off the self-titled debut.
I meant to say Peas of a Pod, and somehow that came out.
No, that's Hooligans. I'm gonna create a shirt, and on the back it's gonna say we're all pigs in the same blanket. I think so. Next up, the demon himself.
All right. I like this list, and I probably could have put another 7 bonus ones. I'll get if you ask me for the bonus ones, I got 2 bonus ones after that. But my number 5 is Unholy. My number 4 is Saint Sinner. My number 3, one of my favorite Kiss songs all time. One of my favorite songs all time. We Are One. My number 2 is Domino. And my number 1 is Charisma.
Wow.
I'm not doing God of Thunder. I'm not I like those songs. I'm not gonna again. I tried to be a little different.
Oh, you're definitely a little different. Your bonus.
Bonus would have been Dance All Over Your Face. And Childhood's End. Love that song. I didn't want to do the popular ones.
I'll just keep saying this. I did what I like. I didn't care whether they were popular or not. I just did what I like. But I did find out something very interesting, especially when it came to Gene songs for Paul, Peter, and Ace. There was a variety. For Gene, I think I can say that I like my demon to be demonic.
Okay.
Because 5, 4, 3, and 2 are almost, at least to me, they are like signature Demon songs.
Yeah, I tried to stay away from that, but
Yeah.
I love. I mean, obviously, I love those songs.
I mean, number 5 is Unholy. It was just the album that it was on, what it represented, the return of the demon. Number 4, Radioactive, which I think is a criminally underrated song. Number 3, War Machine.
Good song.
Start getting a pattern here.
Yep.
Number 2, God of Thunder, specifically the studio version of it with all the crazy sounds in the background and the kids and all of that. That's the Bob Ezrin part of God of Thunder is really demonic in a lot of ways. And number 1, and I don't think this is probably my favorite Gene Simmons song, but I don't know how not to put it at number 1, Rock and Roll All Night. I just, like, out of 20 of these songs, like, I couldn't do it. And I told you earlier in the day, I was struggling with Ace's list.
But I'm so tired of hearing that song. I could never put it on my list.
And just the opposite, I felt like, how can I not put this?
But that's why we're different. That's cool.
How can I not put this on the list? It's number 1.
I mean, listen, I love God of Thunder, and in a perfect world, God of Thunder is definitely making a list that I put on for Gene. But unfortunately, I'm very happy with my list of my top 5 list.
But you always say you're happy with your list.
No, I don't. I wasn't happy with the freaking band when we did the album lists.
Well, you were happy with it at the time. Did somebody put a gun to your head and tell you to put that where you put it? That's a decision. Why are you looking at me like that?
You want me to go there?
I only gave you the arithmetic.
Yeah, well, I don't like arithmetic.
Hell, I'm sure your 4th grade math teacher would agree.
I'm just proving that arithmetic. That's why I didn't like, anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Next up, Ace.
Okay, I have number 5, Rocket Ride.
I'll tell you now, that's the song that I struggled with. We're gonna change the rules and squeak it in. Go ahead. Well, you changed the rules already.
I'm not saying anything, man. Listen, we love this band. There's definitely more songs that could have made the top 5. We could have done it. We're doing this on what day? What's today?
What's today?
What day is it?
Wednesday.
If we were doing it on a Friday, the top 5 could have been completely different because there's a lot.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Number 4 is, honestly, this may be my favorite Ace song all time. Hard Times. I got it listed as number 4 because the other songs are just too legendary to put it above. But again, I've said it many times. Hard Times is the lost KISS song. In my opinion, it's a great song.
Hooligans. Does Father Rocco frustrate you like he frustrates me?
Well, I know you don't like Hard Times, right? You think that song sucks?
No, I just don't understand how you list something at number 4 and then say it's probably my favorite. Well, the question that I'm going to ask, and I'm going to ask this question for all the hooligans, is if your number 4 song on your list is your number 1 song, then why didn't you put it at number 1?
All right, so maybe it'll make more sense when I read you my next 3.
Okay.
So my 3rd one is Shock Me.
Okay.
My 2nd one is Into the Night.
Ooh.
And my 1st one
is New York Groove.
Hell no. Rock Soldiers.
Really? That's a shock. We are very similar in the songs that we picked. I guess we're not. 3, right? 3. I'm a little shocked that New York Groove wasn't on the list. I am a little shocked at that.
I mean, I love the song, but again, played out. Like, I mean, just when my lane was thinking, I couldn't do a played out song.
I think that's another cool thing that we do is because we don't compare we go at these things completely differently.
Well, I had 2 bonus ones real quick. I'll just throw out.
Oh, throw
I
your
had-
bonus.
I had Change on Space Invader,
Look at you.
and I had I'm in the Need of Love. That was another one I wanted to make the list.
So first, my bonus, my honorable mention. I went back and forth all day today after making this list about a week ago. And I so wanted to have Rocket Ride on this list, but I just felt like I could not remove number 5. So Rocket Ride is my unofficial number 6. Number 5, and probably more for everything else than the actual song, but my number 5 is Dark Light off of The Elder. Probably more for
Wow.
the fact that it came off of The Elder, and it's really
interesting.
probably the only straight hard rock song on The Elder. And the other thing is, I think Dark Light solo is probably the best Ace Frehley solo to
It's
me.
a good solo. No, it's a good solo.
I
It's
mean-
definitely a good solo.
I mean, it's just one of a kind completely. So I struggled back and forth between Rocket Ride, which I love and I think is a great song, but Dark Light, even back in the day when we were kids, the only thing I could really listen to off The Elder was Dark Light. I mean, now my taste has opened up a lot more, and especially since we do this, I have forced myself to listen to The Elder more. And I gotta give props to Frank Henstein. What he did with The Elder really kind of changed everything about it, and I find myself listening to that version more than anything else. Number 4 is Rock Soldiers. Again, I think it's a great song. I think it's a great solo. I think it's a great music video. But the representation of it and the fact that Ace was back and
Yeah.
he told you so.
Yeah, I like everything about that song.
Yeah. And same thing for number 3, Into the Night. Again, I keep forgetting to do this, but off of Frehley's Comet, self-titled debut. Into the Night, I think, is a great, criminally underrated Ace Frehley song.
Impact.
I can't figure out for the life of me, and I've said this before, why he doesn't play it live. He really never played it live. I think it's a great song. And it's number 3 on my list because of that. Again, the like you said, the impact of it, Ace coming back, Ace Unmasked, the video I thought was a great video. The whole thing all together.
I can remember like watching the video, like being excited to finally see Ace in that video. I think MTV was making it a feature. And I remember being like anxiously awaiting seeing the video and seeing Ace and hearing that song for the first time, and impact, because it had an impact on me, because you see Ace without makeup and it's cool, and the song is cool, and the video was well done. So impact. That's why it had to make my list too.
Should have been so much bigger than they were.
Like we talked about before, Ace had pressure on him. And to me, video wise and everything that they did for that album, I thought they did great.
Someday, no matter what, we have to get Ace on here, or I have to run into Ace and I have to ask him the question of what's wrong with Into the Night. Why doesn't he play it live? Because I have never seen him play it live. Yeah, I can't find it on YouTube. I think there's one video somewhere.
We talked about this too. I think that to me, the only reason he wouldn't play that song, I mean, it was the single, right? It was one of the singles on the album. The only reason he wouldn't play it live is he's not comfortable playing it live, or he doesn't feel like it's a good song to play live. That's the only thing I can think of.
I think there's a big difference between those two things, though. Like, if we were to, even if it wasn't on this podcast, if I was to ask Ace, hey, why don't you sing Into the Night live? And he says, I can't sing it. Okay. But if he says something like, well, I don't like the song, well, I don't care. Like,
Well, if you think about it too, vocally, that song's different than a lot of his songs. Most of his songs are kind of like talking.
yeah, they have a different cadence to them, and that one
Yeah.
doesn't. And you might be right. That might be the
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
And my number 2 song is Shock Me, because I felt like it had to be, off of Love Gun. And my number 1 song, I don't care how many times you play it, it's got to be New York Groove, off of his 1978
I love the
solo
song.
album.
Last time I heard it, I was getting my teeth fixed.
I mean, you talk
I was
about
in the dentist's
impact.
office. Yeah,
That's
totally.
got to be the number 1 impactful song. And probably, and I'm sure we've said this before, probably moved along him leaving the band.
Yeah.
It probably moved that up a couple years because, well, he knew I can do this on my own. Now, as an extra bonus, what's your number 1 Paul song?
My number 1 Paul song is, well, I have it listed as Come On and Love Me. Again, a lot of these songs are interchangeable. I can have any of them. I'm a Legend Tonight. I could,
No, you have to pick one. The one that has the number 1 by it, that's your number 1 Paul song.
Come On and Love Me. It's a song probably one of the KISS songs I listen to more than any of them.
Okay. Come On and Love Me, your number 1 Peter song.
My number 1 Peter song is Black Diamond, Big Time.
Number 1 Gene song.
Charisma.
Number 1 Ace song.
Rock Soldiers.
Okay. Knock one off the list. Who you knocking off the list?
I don't want to knock one off the list.
Well, you have to.
It's not fair.
Life is not fair. This is my Tommy Thayer coloring book part of the show.
Oh, man, this sucks. Charisma.
Knocking Charisma off. Okay, so you have Come On and Love Me, Black Diamond,
And Rock Soldiers.
and Rock Soldiers. Okay, what's next off the list?
What? You suck.
I know.
Rock Soldiers.
Okay, we're down to Come On and Love Me against Black Diamond. What's number 1?
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond is number 1. Wow. Unseated, Come On and Love Me. Wow. I love to put you in those
That
uncomfortable
really
positions.
sucked. Yeah, that really sucked. But I love Black Diamond. Black Diamond. Ugh. You know how many years I've been searching for another Black Diamond?
Okay, my number 1s are I Stole Your Love, Black Diamond, Rock and Roll All Night, and New York Groove. Rock and Roll All Night comes off the list.
This is interesting.
Yeah, this is tough.
See, now how do you like
This
it?
is tough. New York Groove comes off the list.
So who's it's head to head against who you got?
It's Black Diamond versus I Stole Your Love.
Wow. Same thing happened to you to me. Oh, this is funny. This is freaking hilarious. Oh man, see what Black Diamond does to people? I know what you're gonna pick. You can't pick I Stole Your Love. You have to pick Black Diamond.
I think I have to pick Black Diamond. And I have
Oh my
said,
God, that is
I have
hilarious.
said to the hooligans,
Wow.
I think since the very beginning, I think I said this in our first ever episode that I Stole Your Love was my favorite KISS song. And I guess it just got unseated for Black Diamond.
And this is weird. We didn't plan this, guys. That is so freaking weird the way that laid out.
I Stole Your Love. I find this so comical in so many ways.
Can I just make one statement before you please don't lose your thought because I really want to hear what you have to say, but can I just make one statement?
You made it an hour and 9, almost an hour and 10 minutes into the episode to do it. So
This
go
is-
ahead.
This is good though. Have me and you ever discussed Black Diamond? I'm saying as a song that we like.
Yeah,
We've never had that conversation. We both like it. We both want more from it, Peter, but we've never how we that's really crazy how that laid out like that. That's pretty
well,
cool.
that's why we do what we do here, and hopefully the hooligans out there will run out as soon as this episode is over and listen to Black Diamond and kind of try to see where they slot in, because I think it's incredibly funny. The guy who played lead vocals, the guy who sang lead on the least amount of songs, his song comes out number one on both our lists is and not only that, but it comes from their first
Wow.
album, and it's kind of a shared song because Paul wrote it, Peter sung it. It's kind of crazy, and
Yeah.
if I'm correct, and I think I am, Eric Carr sung it live,
And did it great. Yeah, I remember that.
and Eric Singer sung it live and did it great also.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of, it's a little freaky to me.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
You know what? That all happened organically.
It did. And nobody put When You Wish Upon a Star on their list.
That's true.
So now we got it all. You ate on camera. You got to say organically. We've done everything. You cut me off. We've accomplished everything we had to accomplish in this episode, I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
it's a world without heroes. Hopefully our craziness is very entertaining for you guys today.
If it isn't, fast forward, I guess.
Hey, hooligans, by the way, if you want, put in the comments your list. Put your top one on each member. Just curiosity. Yeah.
I was just going to say that. That's going to be the question for this week, as long as I remember to put it in there. Put your number ones from each original member. And as a bonus, out of those, which is number one? It would be funny if Black Diamond came out repeatedly over and over again.
Wow. Yeah, in all honesty, I swear to God, like that was pretty cool, because I seen where it was going when you started having to eliminate, and I'm like, that son of a bitch is going to pick the same song.
I didn't feel like I had much of a choice, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
It was
same
weird.
here. Like, I mean, if you tell me I can listen, I love Come On and Love Me, but if you tell me one song I can listen to the rest of my life, and I have to pick between the two, it's Black Diamond every day of the week.
I still hate the ending in the studio version.
Oh, I don't like that either. That was just unnecessary.
Right. Unnecessary. Good word for it. You have
Sounds good.
anything else you want to add?
No. I mean, I think we could think of some other creative lists we can add. We can do down the line. I'd like to see if the hooligans have any suggestions too. You know, the one thing that's cool about KISS's catalog and all the content that they put out from their existence, there's never a lack of things to talk about. So this was fun doing.
And I don't know about you, but my list would change tomorrow probably. They would probably be mostly the same songs, but they would probably be reordered depending on my mood. Although I am pretty happy for the most part with my list, and I made this probably a week ago. But I am pretty happy with it. I could switch a couple in and out maybe, or reorder them, but I find it funny.
same here.
This is proof. So, Angel, if you're listening, this is proof that we are two pigs in the same blanket, because we picked the same number one song.
God.
If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like him, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like him, so you don't miss any future episodes, and check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, you know that we are two pigs in the same blanket. Thank you for supporting us, and don't forget, if it's too loud, you're too old. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.